All right, this left side of the brain. I got a little quick PSA service announcement to make, public service announcement. And to the Jaguars, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Because a lot of y'all, you've been watching these videos for like ages and probably haven't even subscribed. So make sure that you have already hit the subscribe button. And when I say hit the likes button, I really mean that, because we boost our ratings on YouTube, okay? But let's jump right into it. I discovered a hole, if you would, in the voting system, okay? But before I go into it, I'm gonna ask you this question right here. Think about it. If someone was to cast a vote, okay, and let's just say that person immediately died after they voted, should that vote count? I'll repeat. If someone went into the voting booth and, let's say hypothetically, they pressed the button or whatever, however it's done for a certain candidate, and then let's say they had a heart attack immediately after, should that person's vote count? Think about that. Now, I'm gonna follow that up with this. My train of thought comes from this right here. Let me give you some scenarios. Now, imagine if everybody who voted for Trump, okay, hypothetically, and let's just say hypothetically Donald Trump won the election, which I really think he is. But let's just say in this hypothetical situation, everyone who voted for Trump, they died. Let's say they died. And the only people that was left in the country were anti-Trump voters, okay? They didn't vote for Trump. In a situation like that, should the people who didn't vote for Trump, should they have to live under the Trump administration when everybody who voted for him died in this hypothetical situation? Would it be justice in this democratic system of voting? Would it be justice for people to have to live under a president that they didn't vote for, and everybody who voted for him, they died? Think about that. Now, I'm not going to try to, I want you to think about that. I don't want to influence, because I want to see what you have to say in the comment section, okay? And I'm gonna give you another analogy, okay? Imagine if you brought a house with 3 people. It was you and 2 other roommates, okay? Now imagine if you and the 2 other roommates, you went out to eat and you made certain decisions about the house, okay? Now let's just say one of the decisions was that nobody knocks on anybody's door after 10 p.m. and that nobody enters anyone's bedroom or disturb anybody before 10 a.m., okay? Now let's just say that the person who put forth that idea out of the 3 roommates, let's just say one of them died. Do you and your other 2 roommates, you and the other person that's still alive, do you still live up to the 3rd person's idea of not knocking on the door after 10 p.m. and not entering anyone's room after 10 a.m.? Or do you and that other person rewrite the constitution of that house since the other person is dead? Even though he voted on it, and when he was alive, you and the other 2 people, you agreed upon this situation. But the person died and they no longer there. So do you still live up to what you and the person voted upon when they were alive? Now, out of 3 people, let's just say that person who died, he was the deciding vote that could either sway or break the decision. But when he died, should his decision still stand? Okay? Think about it. Now let's bring it back to everyday electoral politics. Let's just say, hypothetically, that it was one person's vote that could have swayed whether Trump is the president or Joe Biden. And let's just say after that person pulled the lever that he died. Do you get what I'm saying? What I'm showing you is that the voting system itself, even though it seems like democratic and fair, there are still holes in it. What I'm telling you right now is showing you that it's not as tight as you think it is. Okay? It's not as tight as you think it is because of the situation I'm telling you. Okay? Because basically it's like this. It's basically like this. Imagine you having a party at your house, right? And you was having a party for somebody else at your house. You was kind enough to let them use your house for the party. And you let them decide how they would decorate, what to order as far as the catering, food, and everything. But after the party, guess what they did? They just left. They left you to clean up all the mess, and they didn't even help out. Okay? Now, apply what I just said to a voting situation. What if all of the people who voted for a certain candidate and he gets into office, but they dead and they gone, okay? That means you are left with the mess of their bad decision because you wasn't in agreement with their decision of electing so-and-so as the president. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So how do you deal with a situation like that? That's just showing you that this voting thing is not as foolproof and equitable as they try to make it. It still holes in the theory, okay? Because a situation like that can happen. And you know what I liken it to? I liken it to this right here. Now, I've heard white people say things like, you know, like black Americans were slaves under the United States. And certain white people will say, not all, but certain ones will say, I don't believe blacks should get reparations because I didn't have anything to do with that. That's what my ancestors did. So why should I have to repay someone or a people for something that I didn't partake in? I wasn't even born. I wasn't even around when that took place. Well, that's the same thing that I'm saying. about this voting thing. In a situation like that, if people were to vote for a certain president and if all of those people died and you was left to have to live under something that they decided for when they are no longer alive. You get what I'm saying? So you will be in the same situation saying, why should I have to live under an administration that I didn't vote for, that I don't support, and the people who voted for this president, they are dead. So why do we, the people that are left living, why do we have to live under something that some dead people voted for? Would you shut up? Yeah. When she be quiet, I'll continue. Thank you for shutting up. Now, do y'all get what I'm saying? Under the voting system, it gives it opens up a door where people who are dead, they can their opinion still matters, even in the grave. You know, their opinion, it still matters even in the grave. You get what I'm saying? And this is another thing I thought about that voting. And I just want y'all to write in the comment what you think about that. What I just said, what you think about that. And also I thought about this. I don't trust the voting system. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because of what I already told you, the other video when I was like, I don't vote for no HPB to rule over me. But besides that, I don't trust the voting system because think about what I'm about to tell you. Think about what I'm about to tell you. Think about what I'm about to tell you. Now, what if they had aliens pretending that they were human beings just so they could have an advantage when it came to voting? Let's just say they made some deal with another human-like species who pretended to be Earth citizens just so they could sway the election. Think about that. Think about that. Because when you're speaking about this HPB thing, it could be an intergalactic scheme where you could have Earth-like people who register on the Earth as Earth citizens in some type of secret agenda, and they perpetrate like they are human beings for the main purpose of voting to boost the election count for a certain candidate. A little gnat try to fly my eye. Think about that. What if that was the case? With all of these UFO sightings, I don't put it beyond anything. Think about that. Just what if that was the case? So how can you trust a voting system when they could actually have aliens that appear like they are humans inside the voting booth casting a ballot just to boost the elections for a certain candidate? And then after they cast their election, they bounce on their alien ship and go back to whatever planet they came from. Think about that. Sound crazy, right? But anything is possible. I wouldn't doubt if something like that actually took place. I thought about that. I was like, just what if, you know? You got to keep all options open when you living in this human prison bar system. Because to some people that might sound crazy, but I dropped the video a few weeks ago, and I was talking about how while you on this earth, they launching satellites in outer space. They dealing with space programs, which tells me that they've already left this planet. They own to something else. They out in Mars, and they in other, they got like the Mars rover, and you think they just going out of space just because? Come on, man. It's deeper than that. So what I'm saying is, Earth politics is just a distraction to keep you from from noticing the other politics. You see, NASA itself, that's a whole nother organization. They know what's really taking place. They know what's really taking place. While you on the earth arguing over which HPB gonna rule over us next. And it's a scam. It's a scam. Which HPB am I gonna vote for to rule over me for the next 4 years? Y'all better let that HPB slave mentality go. I'm trying to tell you. That's a slave mentality. You're a human prison bar slave, and you holding on to their politics. You trusting in it, and it's a scam. It's a scam. You better know. But I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. This is Left Side of the Brain. Hit that likes button. Hit that subscribe button. Share the videos. Make them go viral. You can actually take these videos like this one and re-edit it and title it. Whatever parts stood out to you, you can re-edit it and you can put it up on your channel. But just make sure you lead people back to this channel so they can subscribe. So that's what I want y'all to do to help the channel grow. And with that, this is LSOTB signing out. Jaguars up, HPBs down.